I knew things that I'd not been taught. I thought everybody knew. Instead, I was subjected to conditioning and indoctrination. I can't help but live my truth. I woke up like this.
This conversation about deadlines and the energy that that word alone covers, and how we can minimize or eliminate the immediate overwhelm with facing a deadline. Aurelia, you were sharing with me the terminology that you now use instead of deadline. What was that?
Okay, so I was telling you, I don't do deadlines anymore because I'm not going to set myself into that stress and that strain. I use targets, and I look to make my target, and that's it. And I just say, that's where I'm headed toward. Now, what's been happening for me is I haven't even been setting the target date. I've been letting spirit or source set that target date for me. So it's been kind
What is that process? What's that process of letting spirit do? How do you know who's talking, spirit or humanity?
I'm going to have to go into, I teach from A Course in Miracles. And in A Course in Miracles, in the front of the book, there are these different lessons that they're taking us through very slowly. And on June 28th, and I'm flipping through my book right now so I can find a date. This was the last Sunday I was out before I came back from my trip, when I went across country, right? It was chapter 18, The Passing of the Dream, section 7, and it's entitled, I Need Do Nothing. And I literally, when I start finding myself getting into that wind up and that getting ready to zip off and that shoulder tensing, body tightened movement that I'm very used to previously operating under, when I get to that space again and I catch myself, I literally say, I need do nothing. And I could go through and read this thing to you, but basically it said, look, you don't have to do anything. And we always know in manifestation is not created through doing. It is created through being. It's the be, do, have. So if you be something, you'll do something a certain way and you'll have it. So if you say, I really want more love in my life, then be loving. And you'll do loving things and you'll have love in your life. You want respect in your life? Be respectful. And then you'll have respect. And then, you'll do respect. You be respectful. You do respectful things and you'll have respect. Every single thing you want to manifest is the be, do, have. What we've done here, though, is we gotten backwards. We think I have to do something to be something, to have something. No, be it and do it and then have it. It's the feminine, the divine feminine that's first, being in that space. That's the truth of manifestation. All of the ways will manifest, and some of them are very, very slow, and some of them are upside down because some of them are actually spoken in negative. And so we'll go, oh, I sure don't want to have a flat tire. No, I still want to have, safe and smooth traveling without any hindrances.
Okay, so I like be, do, have, but still, like how do you manage when you are collaborating with someone so you're saying once you create a date, you don't deadline it,
What I did, I'm going to give you the example of the class that I just taught on Saturday, okay?
Okay.
So this class has been coming forth through me forever, through my whole life, basically. But I never could figure out how to do it. The woman, I came back, the first thing I did was I told everybody at Conclave, I said, hey, I got married. And everybody's like, what? And I said, yeah, I married myself. Then, as soon as I finished saying that and I got in my RV, Spirit told me, you're not married. And I was like, oh, I thought I was married. No, you're going to get married. So that meant, oh, I'm engaged. But actually, I wasn't even engaged with myself yet. I was courting. I was just starting to know myself. Just starting to know myself in a way that I'd never known myself before. And as I started getting to know myself better, eventually one morning I walked by my mirror. I caught a glimpse of myself with my hair standing up on top of my head like a daggone troll doll in my long white nightgown on that cold morning, limping with this bad sciatic leg. And when I caught a glimpse of myself in the shadow morning in that mirror, I looked over and I looked like a little child to myself. And I went, oh my God, I love you.
Oh.
And I loved myself in that moment in a way I had never understood how to love myself. I loved myself with total acceptance. My pudgy little stomach that I always couldn't stand, I loved it. My dark feet and dark hands, I loved it. My hair that I have now described as cotton candy, because that's what my hair is, it's like cotton candy, I love it.
So basically what you're saying is, being it allowed spirit to move you into a timeline of ease, grace, and glory. Is that what you're saying?
That was one example. Now, with this class, I had
Okay.
always been doing the class. I mentioned to the people in the A Course in Miracles class that I am getting married. I said, what? Oh my gosh. That's congratulations, who you marrying? Da, 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 da. I said, I'm marrying myself. Whoa. And then I told them how I was coming about this thing, to which this lady named Wanda said to me, oh, Aurelia, you should teach that as a class. Like that, right? And I said, in January, that was probably like maybe August, September, October timeframe when she said that, because it was still warm outside. I was sitting on my deck when we were having the class. In January, she called me up and said, hey, Aurelia, will you be ready to teach that class next month? We are starting what we're calling the Master Series, and we got a lineup, and we would like for you to kick it off. I said, sure. She said, what's the class called? I said, well, I said, this has come to me. It says Journey to Self-Love. She said, oh, I love that. She called me back 2 weeks out, so right before the start of February. She said, Aurelia, would you be ready to teach your class on Valentine's weekend? And I was like, sure. And she said, okay. And I said, I don't have anything to teach yet, but I mean, sure. I know Spirit will bring it to me because Spirit brought you to me.
Right.
To ask me and put the timeline, not the timeline, but the target. That's the other
Right.
thing. A deadline and a timeline are two different things.
Right.
Deadlines don't. That energy is heavy. Timeline is like, in time I can do this. But it was a target now. I said, okay, well, I'll work towards the target. And I didn't do anything. I kept falling back on, well, I need to do nothing. I literally finished that deck. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning with total inspiration of doing it. But I had to tell myself, Aurelia, you could get up and work right now, but you are tired. Sleep. Everything is fine. Because my friend called me at 2 freaking o'clock in the morning. He's like, hey, what you doing? I said, well, I was sleeping. I had another hour and a half to sleep on a 3-hour window so I could go and get my program together. Oh, then that joker talked to me for an hour. So when we hung up, I had 30 minutes to sleep. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to sleep. I slept till 5 o'clock in the morning. I worked on that deck. When I woke up, I knew everything that was going to happen with that deck. I went in there, I sat down, and put the rest of the deck together between 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the morning. I went downstairs and had breakfast and reviewed the deck. I came up here and took a shower, and I logged on 15 minutes before the class started, and I waited. I talked to Wanda, and in that class, it started being revealed to me, Wanda, you're the one that brought this here, because the next thing she did after she says, okay, we're going to do this, she said, hey, would you be ready to have the first module on the in March? And I said, yeah. And I said, I'll tell you what, put it down for the 13th of March, a month after what we did, and we'll get started. How many classes are there? I don't know. What all are you covering? I'm not sure. I said, I know Spirit knows what this is. Whatever it is, we're learning it together. And that program came out. I'm looking forward to you seeing that presentation.
I'm looking forward to it too, because I'm feeling the ease of the terminology, because there is a lot of heavy energy when you say deadlines, right? So
Right.
I've been giving myself these deadlines. Nobody's put it on me. On the community that we're both members of, I have a project, and people are waiting on the project, but they're really excited, but I'm translating it as a type of anxiety that isn't excitement. You know what I'm saying? That's my translation. That's the story I'm telling myself. So I keep giving myself deadlines so I can give them deadlines. And what keeps happening is that the line keeps going dead. Different things keep happening. I mean, legit things are happening that interrupt the energetic flow that I'm accustomed to experiencing. You know,
right.
because I've done these kind of projects before, and now in this conversation, I see where I'm creating my own stoppage of flow. That and the lack of enthusiasm that I've had in, number one, accepting help and support from others. Number two, being the one who needs to restore integrity. And it's like, as much to me, like when you are, let's say, out of integrity, I'm the one who's like, I want to apologize. I want to say I'm sorry. I want to do all these things because that's the way to balance out the quote unquote, and this is not a good word, but just for easy understanding, the wrong I've done. I'm quick to apologize. That don't mean I want to. That doesn't mean I want to do it. So even within myself, I feel resistance, and I'm giving myself a deadline, and Spirit is saying, you know, you want to be easier with this. You want a better relationship with your integrity. You want a better relationship with your work. I hear your authentic desire. But because you keep fighting me on this, I'm going to allow you to, I keep creating the opportunity to do it.
But the universe is also saying, I hear it, but I can only give you what you asked me.
What I asked for.
Until you hear it.
Right. So I have to be it, and then as I'm being it, that means I'm doing it, and if I'm doing it, I will have it.
Yep.
That's what I hear you say. Thank you so much for breaking that out, not breaking it down. Thank you very much for building that up for me. Boom!
I can't help but live my truth. I woke up like this. Keep your vibe high.